Just start.
Just start? Okay.
Sorry, here's the...
All right. Thank you. Well, usually Pete kicks us off today, but I think I will. So good afternoon. I am, extremely impressed and very, very thankful that the community that Portland serves is on short notice, I might add, and cold for some, well represented behind me here today. That is just awe-inspiring and personally, for me, inspirational. So I want to thank everybody for coming, and especially for all of you that are up here, not with me, but with the Portland Police Bureau and the City of Portland at this critical time in our community. We're here today to provide some reassurance to the people in our community who are struggling with fear, and I understand it's fear and uncertainty regards to immigration. Up front, I want to make it clear that the Portland Police Bureau's role is to enforce Oregon law. I mean, that's why we're here. But Oregon law prohibits the Police Bureau from enforcing immigration laws. So let me repeat that. My 28 years, or not 28, seems like 28, 26, my time with the Portland Police Bureau, we haven't enforced immigration laws. We didn't last year, and we won't next year. The community needs to understand that. I can understand why the community might be afraid that the police would do that. It makes sense, because I work for the government. My folks work for the government. It makes sense to me, but we don't enforce immigration laws. I want to read to you an email that I sent out to the Portland Police Bureaus that serve the community. And I'm going to read it because this is the direction I gave to the members of the Portland Police Bureau. So on Friday, January 27th, 2017, President Donald Trump signed an executive order restricting travel to the United States from 7 countries in what is being described by many as a Muslim ban. This action has spread fear and uncertainty to our refugee and immigrant communities served by the Portland Police Bureau. I want you, the members of the Portland Police Bureau, to be a source of reassurance to the community. We must be diligent in our efforts to the community who now more than ever see us as a source of fear. And for the community to see the police as a source of fear is wrong. I understand it. It's wrong, and we need to change that. We must be the ones who reach out first to all whom we serve and be able to answer their questions and provide clarity on what our role is in regard to immigration. That means giving assurance that we are not an extension of immigration and customs enforcement. The Portland Police Bureau is not an extension of ICE. We do follow and enforce Oregon law, and we do not enforce federal immigration laws under Oregon Revised Statute 181A.820. I further ask that you continue to provide extra patrol around mosques, Islamic schools, and community centers as another layer of protection for those in our community who may be experiencing fear and anxiety, especially after an attack in Quebec, Canada on Sunday. While we have no known threats locally, our presence may provide reassurances to those in fear. Over the past few months, I've received many heartfelt thanks from the immigrant and refugee communities describing their positive encounters with Portland police officers. Although these communities have a heightened sense of fear and uncertainty, I am confident we will continue to be an agency they can turn to for safety and security. And thank you all for your efforts in this outreach work. That's the email I sent today to all Portland police officers. That's the email that will be read at all roll calls. That is my expectation of all Portland police officers, to be a reassurance to the community, not a source of fear. The Police Bureau has worked hard to build relationships with the refugee and immigrant communities over the last few years. We have a Slavic Advisory Council and a Muslim Advisory Council, and others. We also conducted many community events with our partners at the Immigrant and Refugee Community Organization, IRCO. I'm confident these relationships will go far in helping people understand we are an agency they can turn to for safety and security. In just a second, I think it's most important actually not to hear from me, but some members from the community behind me. I want to finish with this. I'm not an immigrant from this community. My grandparents were, but I remember my mother, who's passed now, telling me she was raised in San Francisco. And as a kid and growing up, I heard this story from her that her friends in grade school in San Francisco were taken away from her and put in internment camps. Growing up as a kid, I honestly didn't really understand what that meant until I had my own friends who were immigrants, and I have immigrant communities in my own family. My mom told me that until she was 80-some years old and died. I can't comprehend losing your family, let alone your schoolmates, to that kind. I don't want to go back to those days. So thank you for coming here. I really want to thank the community that we serve for coming here. And we will now, again, listen to them because I think that is most important.
Chief, read my handwriting.
Yeah.
Our first speaker today will be Imam Muhammad Najib.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of God, the Beneficent, the Merciful. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Chief Marshman, Assistant Chief Uhura, Captain Jamie Rash, Officer Natasha, and many of the other officers, men and women who I've had the opportunity here to meet today. I would just like to say that this is very reassuring to hear the type of information that has been disseminated with us here today. And it's reassuring in the sense that what makes America the greatest country in the industrialized world is the diversity of its people. All of us have contributed to this great nation, and not only to this great nation, but here in the state of Oregon. Since I've lived here, this type of diversity I've had an opportunity to benefit from and to work with individuals across all spectrums. And it's reassuring and refreshing. And I thank God from that perspective that we had the opportunity to be able to come and meet together today and to discuss this type of information, disseminate it, and get it out to all those who might live in fear and uncertainty in this time. So I don't want to take too much time because there are others that would have something also beneficial to add to this conversation and this narrative. But I pray that in the days to come that we all are responsible, we all look to each other for strength and help, and we take the advice of each other and we follow those lines, and we always look for peaceful solutions to anything that we can resolve. Thank you very much.
Next, I'd like to invite up the Director of the Muslim Educational Trust, Wajdi Syed.
Dear respected sisters and brothers, Chief Marchman, Assistant Chief Uhura, Captain Cripps, Captain Rach, and Captain King, and Officer Natasha, and all men and women of uniform. We are here today not out of fear, we are here out of love and respect. It is very important for us in challenging times that we respond in appreciation for a lot of men and women in uniform and civil leaders and religious leaders. We have so many Christian ministers behind us here. And we have the Executive Director of Ecumenical Ministries of Oregon, Catholic Charities, Lutheran Family Services, and sponsored organization to assist refugees, and so many individuals. This is the beauty of our humanity. We are not going to polarize our communities with the color of our skin, because racism has no color. Racism has no color and has no religion. It is very important for us that we stand together. Yesterday, I was late in our community center because the fear of what happened in Quebec can happen here. And I mentioned to a friend of mine that telling me, Wajdi, maybe you should get a license to carry an arm with you. I told him, I come from society that is a civilized society. Yemen is a civilized society in respect of how people and hate mongers and bigotry and hypocrisy try to project the new enemies. Animosity is not acceptable in our society. Manifestation of hate should be rejected. The Native American have faced it. Women have faced it in our society. Japanese American, Jewish American, just name it, Latinos, and so many. When will be enough is enough. If you are a bigot and a hateful person and a hypocrite, it's time for you to reevaluate yourself as a human being. It is very important that we stand with our African American Muslims and our African American Christians and everybody of goodwill. The African American have came to this country not by choice. They came as slaves. And it is very important for us that we recognize, for all of us people of immigrants and refugees background, if it wasn't our African American community, we wouldn't have enjoyed a lot of the civil rights. Malcolm X, Al-Haj Malik Shabazz, Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks has given their lives for all of us. And it is time that we heal and bridge bridges of understanding to come together. Chief, we are in front of you. We are in your right and your left and behind you. And all men of uniform, we appreciate your leadership. And enough of politics. Our elected officials need to get their act together and start to think about solutions, not politics. Chief, we are honored to have you our chief. And I hope our elected officials will reconsider to hire you to become the chief for 10 years to come. Thank you very much, everybody.
Next, I'd like to invite up Musay Osul.
Thank you very much for the invite. Thank you, Chief. Thank you all the officers and captains and lieutenants that from Portland Police Bureau, who some of them have sent to us a letter of support after over the weekend. I decided, instead of using my own words, to read a letter that I sent from a Somali American woman and who has and her family, who's trying to respond and put the words of what happened to her. She said, "So America has decided to abandon the immigrants in their homes and lock the Muslims out of the country. And as an immigrant, I understand perfectly if I don't feel safe in my second home, even though I don't know how to explain to my children who believe that they've been betrayed by the only people they know of. I understand because I'm not here by accident. I'm here because I was not safe in my own home." She kind of concludes the letter. She said, "America is a great nation because it's a combination of the world's finest cultures, belief systems, and it upholds human rights inside its own country and outside. This is not to say it's perfect, but it's open to growth and healing, heading to the right direction until now." She continues to say, "Today is against immigrants, Muslims, Mexicans, women rights. Tomorrow is the Jewish and other ethnic groups," and the list goes on until it breaks down. And then she puts the words of hope. She says, "I see something else. This is an opportunity for America to rise again, learn from its mistakes, and claim its unity and fundamental ideology that made it great, which is to stand for justice, not because it feels sorry for me, but because it's the right thing to do, and that's what holds up together. This fight's beyond immigrants and Muslims, and the whole world's watching how America engaged in this. You want to make America great again?" She says, "It can be done by making America free again from hate and division. You don't stand by me because I'm a separate, vulnerable ethnic group to feel sorry. Stand by me because you stand for justice and for America." Thank you very much.
Next, I'd like to invite Lee Cha, the director of the Immigrant Refugee Community Organization, IRCO.
Let me also take this opportunity to really thank our chief and the police bureau and the city of Portland for including us in this very critical event. It is unprecedented, but I am very grateful the fact that our bureau and our city leadership really taking on a critical leadership to really pull together our community, and this means a lot from the bottom of our heart. We don't know how else to say thank you to you, but this is significant. So on behalf of the Immigrant and Refugee Community Organization, I know that our community truly is the fears and anxiety is really running high among our community. But the fact that we're able to pull together, this is going to make a big difference. And I urge you to continue to be thoughtful. I urge you to continue to be very supportive, especially those who came here as a refugee. The one thing that I like to say is that we as a nation of immigrants, I know that the general American society is truly supportive of we as human beings, those who have fled persecutions, those who have fled war-torn country or religious persecutions. This is not a time for us, to have these kind of anxieties and fears. It's like you are running away the second time from fears and persecutions. And so I want you all to know that this executive order, indeed, it's because it promoted a lot of fears and anxiety for our community. One, because we do not have a great understanding of what is our basic rights. Second, because of the political rhetoric, the message that is out there truly is not being very clear when it comes to what basic right do we as a refugee even have. And so for that, I want you all to continue to educate our community to be real. To be real, because those of us who came here as refugee status, the fact that we were permitted for entry to the United States, at the very least, there is some level of legal rights that we had. But at the same time, I also know that indeed the sad piece is that our country now is running out of fears and reacting out of fears. And any point in time, if leaders are reacting to fears and try to implement policies and operation that way, it will create fears and anxiety. And so I just wanted to really urge those of you who are here today, not only that, those of you who are at home, who are compassionate about human rights, and those of you who are compassionate about those vulnerable. Indeed, we may be immigrants and refugees today, but we are truly your new Americans tomorrow. So you're lending a hand today. It would mean a lot to us. You help us to get through this difficult time. It means a lot to us. And so I just wanted to, again, let you know how appreciative we are, Chief, and particularly our city leaderships. We wanted to stand with you to do the right thing. But in reality, we know that fear had truly run high in our community. So with that, I wanted to just really say we're grateful for your compassion and your love during these very difficult times. And so thank you for the moment, and thank you very much.
We have two more speakers. Next will be Sho Dozono.
Thank you, Chief and Assistant Chief Uehara. My name is Sho Dozono. I stand before you as an immigrant of 62 years in Portland, Oregon. I want to remind all of you about another executive order that happened. It's February 19th, 1942, Executive Order 9066, which allowed the government to imprison 120,000 Japanese Americans. 62% were citizens of this country. And our motto is never again, we will never let this happen again to anyone, any Americans in this country. Chief Marshman mentioned about his mother's story about her classmates being taken away from her school. That happened to my community 75 years ago. So I stand before you as a proud immigrant of this city. My mother was born and raised in Portland, Oregon. That's why I'm here as an immigrant. 1955, didn't speak a word of English. I can't speak verbally even today, but I was allowed to stand for election for mayor of the city a few years back. So I'm very proud to be American today. And I want to remind all of you what happened to our community 75 years ago. And I want to hear everyone to say, never again. Never again. Thank you.
I'm going to call an audible and add one more. Jan Elfred? Sorry, from EFO. Yes, please come up.
I'm Jan Elfers, Executive Director of Ecumenical Ministries of Oregon, and we've been resettling refugees through our SOAR program for 40 years. We don't ask where they're from. If people need safe refuge, it is deeply rooted in our religious traditions that we are to reach out to those who are suffering. And we are deeply, deeply disturbed by the executive order that was issued on Friday. the fear and the chaos that it has resulted from that, and the suffering that people are experiencing after unimaginable suffering anyway. If you're a refugee, we have the most difficult vetting process for refugees in the world. And people who come to this country through our refugee services have spent 2 or 3 years trying to get here. And there's some of our finest citizens. We have people on our staff at our SOAR program. Most of them are refugees themselves. And what they've decided to do is to give back to this country by helping resettle refugees themselves. I spoke with one of our employees on Saturday. He's from Mauritania. He's a Muslim American, and I asked him if he'd be willing to be interviewed. And of course there's a lot of fear, and some people don't want to be interviewed, especially if you're from the Muslim community. But he said to me, "It is my responsibility and it is an honor for me to share my story for those who are on the other side trying to get here and are being blocked from doing that. I will do whatever it takes to support my fellow brothers and sisters throughout the world who are, through no fault of their own, fleeing persecution and violence, trying to find a safe haven." So we will continue to resettle refugees. It is our calling as people of faith. It is something that we feel deeply, deeply committed to welcome the stranger. And so this is certainly a time of grave injustice, and we are so committed to keeping our communities of faith together and people of goodwill to continue to do the right thing. Martin Luther King reminded us that sometimes you don't do the thing that is politic or safe or popular. You do the right thing, and it is the right thing to continue to resettle our neighbors and brothers and sisters around the world who are suffering. So I really appreciate the words from our police bureau. We stand with you. The faith community will do whatever it takes to support your efforts. Our churches are creating sanctuary for people who are in danger of deportation. We stand ready to be the people that we are called to be, people of moral and ethical integrity. So thank you.
Thank you.
Our final speaker today will be Pastor Matt Hennessy.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm J.W. Matt Hennessy, the pastor of Vancouver Avenue First Baptist Church here in Portland. I want to thank the chief, and for the assistant chief, Chris Uehara, to Commander King, and to each of the men and women in uniform in the Portland Police Bureau for inviting us to come to this very, very important place. I certainly want to thank my brothers and sisters behind me as I join you today in unity and solidarity. A reminder, as a godson of Coretta Scott King, I'm reminded every day of the importance of the fact that the work is not done yet. I'm grateful today that we have come together, but I want to remind somebody of something. And that is, Martin Luther King said that no person is free until all people are free. That what affects one directly affects all indirectly. And so today there is no one of us that can walk away from here and say, this doesn't affect me, it affects us all. But I want somebody to know that today you have done something that has created an opportunity for solidarity and unity in every church, in every mosque, in every synagogue, and in every house of worship, because this is an issue of humanity. We believe in the fact that these are our brothers and sisters, be they Muslim, be they refugees, be they whatever. They are our brothers and sisters, and we are going to fight for them. We are going to speak for them. We are not going to be silent about this situation. It's very important that we open our mouths and let people know this is not right. Chief, I am grateful to know that as we come to this very apolitical moment, that your instruction to your troops is to say these are things we don't do. But one of the things I know that you do believe in doing, and that is treating every human being as they are extremely significant. My friends, we stand in this very sweet, wonderful spot. But the spirit of unity and solidarity that's here is the very spirit and unity and solidarity that has been for years in New York Harbor. The symbol of liberty has been what this country is all about. And it is my hope and my prayer that from the areas northeast of this country to southeast to southwest and west, that we remember that we are United States, that it's not about red or blue, it is about red, white, and blue. And that every one of us has a responsibility to realize we are all American citizens. And I am here as a preacher who believes that we do not engage in hate, we do not engage in division, we do not engage in pitting communities against each other. We are here to work together, to learn of one another, and to figure out how we all can live together in peace. I've dedicated my life to it. Our church has done that. I believe that every religious leader and every person in this community believes the same thing, and that is that we want to make sure to do everything that we can to leave this place better than we found it, and we're not going to let any legislation get in the way of that. America is America. Let us keep on fighting to make America the best America that it can be. Thank you very much.
I want to thank you all for coming at such short notice. I know Chris Uehara, Assistant Chief, reached out to all of you and said we need you here and we want you here, and you all came. So thank you all for coming to the community. Sir.
Sergeant Simpson, I had one question. We mentioned that this email that was sent out this morning was something that you sent out to all of your officers, that come under your command. And my question is just, I wonder, does the sheriff of Multnomah County share that same sentiment? Because we have so many Muslims who might be outlying in the Gresham in those areas that might not hear this word, and someone here will be able to take that word back to them so that they would have the same opportunity to feel that relief.
Yeah, great question. I know Sheriff Mike Reese quite well, and Chief Robin Sells of Gresham. All the law enforcement partners in this county all feel the exact same way. We're all united in this. Right. It's about getting to know everybody here, because I honestly truly believe that if the Portland police officers and the community, if we get to know one another and our differences, we'll all be safer. Part of the mission of the Police Bureau is to be safer. And honestly, I believe if the Portland Police Bureau members get to know the community, we're just better for knowing you. We really are. So, but yes, all the law enforcement agencies in Multnomah County are like same views as this. Great question. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we'll end the formalities for members of the media. I'm sure you want to talk to some folks individually, and there's a lot of folks here to grab. So thank you very much for coming also on short notice. We appreciate it.
Before it gets, it's still recording, but it says low battery power mode.